From the rolling fields in the south to the boreal forests in the north, Saskatchewan's food bounty overflows. As an author and journalist, I've spent the last decade tasting the best the province has to offer and telling stories to help us reconnect with our food. I'll take you on a field-to-plate journey to discover our finest ingredients and the people behind it all. Because this isn't just my story, it's Saskatchewan's.
It started in my teenage years working in big chain restaurants. I felt kind of drawn to the kitchen, the personalities, the knives, the fire, like it was very interesting to me. And that's just kind of sent me down this path of learning as much as I can. I just became so laser focused on that for most of my adult life.
When we started in Saskatoon, the culinary scene wasn't nearly what it is now. There was, a couple of restaurants, but once you'd worked in those, there was nowhere to go. So I think the best way to learn to cook is to get as much experience with as many different people and as many different chefs as you can. So for us, that meant bigger cities with lots of restaurants.
I think everyone should probably live in a different city than the one that they grew up at some point in their life. It just allows you to broaden your horizon, and I think I left Saskatoon saying to myself, I'll never come back to this city, but you go to another place and you feel the pull, and we've always felt that pull.
I've trained in different bigger cities, and I feel that if I've trained in those bigger cities, I can take that knowledge and bring it back to my hometown, and it has a ton of meaning to me to be where my friends and family are, and I want people to be able to taste everything we have around us and for it to really bring them home and bring some meaning to where they are.
In Saskatchewan, we're very lucky to have a really tight culinary community. For example, when we were still catering, we became friends with Christy, and it's nice to have someone who really does understand the struggles you're going through and can offer help or just listen.
We felt very welcomed here, and there was never someone saying, oh, you're opening a restaurant? Like, I have a restaurant. It was cool. Like, let's hang out. Let's feed each other. Let's drink together.
We have a really great time together, and we're able to talk shop a little bit and discuss the ups and downs of being chef owners and the restaurant business and different ingredients and different inspirations for different dishes. And it's just so nice to have somebody to talk about the things that are in our everyday life.
I was first exposed to foraging mushrooms when we lived in Vancouver. My first day in a kitchen there, the chef kicked the back door open. He had been on Vancouver Island that morning, and he had brought back all of these various mushrooms. And I'm a new guy in the kitchen, so I'm brushing and trimming and all of this, but just every one was like a jewel. If I touch this one, it turns blue. This one's purple in the middle. It's the smell, everything about them. I'm drawn to them.
Chanterelles grow all over the place, but it's our opinion that the very best ones grow in Saskatchewan. They're a little bit peppery and sweet, and they have this fantastic texture, and they really do taste like the forest smells.
People connect with the mushrooms that we serve here because we connect with them so much, and it has its own flavors. It seems to change whether you can shave them raw and they smell of stone fruit, peaches maybe, and as you cook them, they kind of intensify. They have a really pleasing texture. It's not crisp, but it's just present and beautiful. With the volume that we do at the business, we have people that forage for us often, but every year and every season that we can get out for, we go out, we find our own little batch, we bring it back, we serve it at the restaurant, and that's super important for us to kind of see that from start to finish.
For the 3 Saskatoon chefs and friends, their favorite way to spend a day together is foraging for chanterelles, and they invited me along to join them. Wild chanterelle mushrooms are Saskatchewan's forest jewels. They grow in the boreal forest where the prairies meet the Canadian Shield.
We did truly get the most beautiful day for this.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
What are we looking for when we're out foraging, you guys?
A little bright orange pops of color.
It's so magical how once you see one, then you can start to see
You're right,
more
look
and
at
more. The magic just takes over.
There's so many.
There's little perfect tops everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Being a chef restaurateur, it's really good to have friends that are in the same boat and doing the same things. So coming out here with Thane and Beth is just a literal breath of fresh air, and it's so surreal. Like, it's just beautiful, because I've definitely tried to go on my own and found like 2 mushrooms. So it's beautiful that they know the spot and that they would share that with another fellow restaurateur, and that there's such a good community around it.
When we're looking for chanterelles, they grow in a very specific type of forest in Saskatchewan. It's generally older growth. It's easy to walk through. The ground is carpeted with reindeer moss, and you're just looking for little depreciations in the ground, perhaps where a little extra moisture has condensed, and then you'll see these mushrooms popping up here and there. It's just like a beautiful walk in the woods.
What I love about chanterelles is I love the hunt for them and the smell of them, and I just think that they're such an incredible Saskatchewan ingredient. As soon as those mushrooms hit the pan, it's unmistakable. There's nothing else that smells like that, and once you've had that, you wait for chanterelle season all year long, so it's really beautiful.
How can you tell it from other mushrooms?
So chanterelles are one of the few mushrooms that has the gills from the cap itself that are attached to the stem. Often you'll see the gills go towards the stem but then break clean off, and it's easy to snap right at that point, where these are like literally a vase shape and they slowly integrate into the stem itself. Once you see one, you're going to start to kind of see more.
The magic just takes over.
It's like a little treasure hunt.
The bright orange mushrooms hide in the reindeer moss on the forest floor. They can be difficult to find at first. But once you start finding them, it's hard to leave the forest.
Look at this! Oh my gosh!
Nice find.
Look at them coming up.
Where you see reindeer moss, where you see old growth jack pine, there's a good chance you might see chanterelles.
Look, there's a bunch growing under this log.
You can kind of see how they've like clung to moisture. You know, the sun is beating down all around it, but there's this little area under the log where,
That's a nice one.
yeah.
The chanterelles have to like push up through the moss so they get cleaned on the way up, and they're like stout and beautiful and pristine.
Yeah, that's what makes the Saskatchewan ones so awesome. They're always just
Look
so
at that.
sturdy and
perfect.
And they're
beautiful.
never as pristine as this moment right here. You know,
Wow.
It's a strange business to get into, to own a restaurant. It's a strange business to get into, to be a chef, and to do them together is kind of idiotic. So we really thrive on connections with other people that are doing the same thing as us. There is a lot of camaraderie here, and I think it has a lot to do with the place that we live in.
Look at this! Oh my gosh!
Nice find.
Look at them coming up.
Nice.
I feel like a regular mushroom forager now.
We also try to leave the occasional mushroom to let it fully spore out and propagate the next generation.
I like that.
Especially if it's an older mushroom.
Yeah.
They're just so beautiful and so unique, and Dana and I had tried for years to find them, but people are secretive about their mushroom spots, which I respect. Eventually, we found our very first mushroom, and to be clear, not like a patch, like one. And we were so happy, and we had a little moment, and we hugged, and we looked at it, and we looked at it, but now we're getting better at it.
Oh, it's so pretty. That color is so perfect.
I love it so much.
Let's break it up.
Yeah.
Just like it's meant to come apart like that. It's so
Yeah, it
beautiful.
could split perfectly.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Thumbs up.
Juicy.
It's buttery too.
And spicy.
You know the pepper?
Peppery, like,
I've never tasted a chanterelle from the forest floor like that. That's incredible.
I'm really excited about what we've got. Let's go cook these up.
Yeah.
There's nothing quite like the taste of freshly picked chanterelles, so we set up a forest picnic lunch to enjoy the classic mushrooms on toast.
The people here are really special and really warm, and the community here is really supportive, and that's really different from some of the major centers we worked in. Saskatchewan might not have the population of somewhere like Ontario or BC, but it's easy to feel alone in those big, big places, and it's impossible to feel alone here.
How would you describe the smell of these?
It's every smell that we're presently smelling in this forest, you know.
Concentrated into.
Yeah, the sun is beating down, it's warming the pines, there's a little breeze, and it all seems to come together when you smell these mushrooms. In they go.
Oh, look at those little mushrooms in the sun.
Yeah, I was just thinking.
The smell when they hit that hot pan. Yeah, I love it. It's so fun to watch them go from that brilliant sunrise, orangey yellow, and they're going to just start to slowly deepen and intensify. Yeah.
The flavor and the smell of chanterelles, as soon as those mushrooms hit the pan, it's unmistakable. There's nothing else that smells like that. It's just absolutely incredible. So it really becomes a sensory memory. And once you know that, and once you've had that, you wait for chanterelle season all year long. So it's really beautiful.
Look at the color already. Like it's deepening up, getting like those caramel edges. Are chanterelles your favorite mushroom to cook with, or do you have others?
The chanterelles are just so unique to this province, and they're such high quality. They're the best in the world.
Foraging companies use Saskatchewan as a marketing ploy to sell mushrooms. These are Sask chanterelles, they're often called.
I think they should be on our flag.
Yeah, that's so smart. And yeah, we just drove a couple hours outside of Saskatoon to get like the best mushrooms in the world, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
A little drink, my friends.
In 2020, we won part of Canada's 100 best restaurants. We landed at 85, and that was a very intense feeling and something we're extremely proud of, not just for our restaurant, but for this province as a whole.
We've watched that list since its very beginning, and being named one of the top 100 restaurants, it was so exciting to be on it.
Like, it still kind of gives me shivers down my back to think about it. We're very privileged to have that happen.
Being out here is just so inspirational. Like, I want to create a dish that looks like this, that smells like this, and that's like the essence of those chanterelles, and really bring people to the place that we are, but in the restaurant.
It's special getting to see something the whole way through from beginning to end. Collecting them and cleaning them and then preparing them and then watching guests enjoy them, it's like closing a loop. It's satisfying.
It was important for us to be a part of this kind of growing food scene that's here. We're not at any time being interested in being like Vancouver or like Toronto or Calgary. This is Saskatoon. This is Saskatchewan. We're happy exactly how we are.
It was a wonderful day with the three chefs. I gained a new appreciation for chanterelles and how to forage respectfully. We head back to Saskatoon, where Christy has something unique to show me with our freshly picked forest jewels.
Everything has to have meaning for me, so there's a ton of thought that goes into each dish based on where we are in our seasons and what's available, what's grown well that season. We have to really be thoughtful of how we're going to use that on the menu and how we're going to sustain with those ingredients all winter long, because it is a very long, harsh winter here. I've worked in so many kitchens, and none of them have taken it quite as far as we do here. Nothing goes to waste. Like, even like the humble beet stem, we won't even get rid of that. We'll be chopping that up and lacto-fermenting that and making some sort of conserve out of it. Each dish is very carefully thought through, and each ingredient is also very carefully handled. Basically, Saskatchewan, we need to keep everything preserved because there's such a short growing season and we have a long winter. And the abundance of chanterelles, we make sure that we can lacto-ferment them and can them and pickle them so that we have them all year long. And a really important Saskatchewan representation of what we have here. They're just so beautiful. I just love the fragrance, that unmistakable fragrance as soon as they hit the pan and as soon as they come through the door. They're definitely a staple on the menu.
After we returned from the forest, Christy invited me to learn about preserving chanterelles.
Ooh, welcome to the chef's kitchen.
Yeah, so this is my little laboratory where I've been doing all my experiments and trying out new things and doing my preservation. Lately, I've just been loving lacto-fermentation because it's all it takes is salt. It's magical.
So cool. Yeah, teach me about it, please. I need to learn more.
Basically, like, these are an example. Like, this is a sauerkraut that's been lacto-fermented, so it's basically just cabbage and salt. And it turns into sauerkraut. So that's the one everyone's most familiar with.
That's it? Like you just add salt with cabbage and you get this texture and flavor of sauerkraut.
Yeah,
Like that's all it takes.
That's all it takes.
It's so simple.
The bacteria does the work for us. It's amazing.
Awesome.
Basically, the science behind it is that the lactobacillus is the bacteria that thrives in a salty environment, whereas other bacteria die. So it always wins out, and it turns whatever sugars are naturally present in the ingredient into lactic acid, which gives us that beautiful pickle flavor that everyone's in love with. So it's really, really simple. And not only does it preserve the ingredient itself, it also preserves the texture as well as all of the nutrients. So I'm just so excited about this way of fermenting and preserving.
Yeah, of course. And then you get to open this jar in the middle of winter and get that texture and flavor and taste of the summer cabbage in the middle of winter. And it's good for you too.
Oh, there's nothing like it. It's really magical. So I want to show you how to do it.
Yay! Will I be able to do this at home?
Oh, you're gonna laugh once you see how simple it is. So we've got our beautiful forest chanterelles, the jewels of the forest that we picked yesterday.
Oh, I still just love them so much.
I know, they're so
That
amazing.
smell.
That smell. And so we really want to like preserve that and concentrate that because they, you know, they don't last forever. So it's as simple as I'm just gonna weigh out my amount of chanterelles. You can help me put some in the jar if you want.
This knowledge about preserving and fermenting is just so integral if we want to really keep our sights on what we grow here and how to extend the season, right?
It's almost like a lost art, honestly. So
How are we doing there?
I think we're good. Let's stop here so
Okay.
we have some room to kind of mix. So we have 500 grams of chanterelles. So we're gonna do a 2% salt. That's kind of the most
Okay.
basic. That's what you would do for sauerkraut. That's what you can do for cucumbers. So the 2%, that would be 10 grams of salt. So this is a really beautiful kosher sea salt. Just use a really high quality salt that's
Okay.
not like iodized. So I'm just gonna sprinkle that over the mushrooms.
Why does the higher quality salt make a difference?
There's something about the iodized salt, it's just not, it gives it a strange flavor. It's not as clean. And I'm just gonna put the lid on and we're gonna give it a little
shake?
give it a little shake. And so it's pretty wild that this ends up turning into this, which is the finished product. And look at how deep the color is and how much liquid has come out. And that's all concentrated chanterelle flavor right in there.
Wow, this color's amazing.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna let this sit out at room temperature for, it depends on the temperature in the room, but like a few days to a week or two. And every day I'm just gonna give it a little turn and make sure the salt's distributed and give it a little taste and see where we're at. Just because once it reaches a point of deliciousness, that's when it's time to stop the fermentation. And so you can stop the fermentation by putting it in the refrigerator or freezing it. So would you like to try a finished product?
Definitely, please.
Perfect.
I can't believe this color.
Oh my God, I know. It's just, the forest is just concentrated in this beautiful chanterelle. And the liquid is even really useful for seasoning things.
Thank you.
It's almost like a caper, like a pop of like pickle flavor with like a balance of salt and then that earthiness coming through from the chanterelle.
Wow.
I know.
Fermentation is a simple tradition long used to preserve the harvest in Saskatchewan and to ensure there was enough food to last through the cold winter months. Lactofermentation just takes salt and further intensifies chanterelle's flavor. Okay, so what do we have? What did you make for us?
We have lovely Pineby Farms ribeye here. We have some potato and ricotta agnolotti with fresh and cooked chanterelles. We have some green beans and roasted onions, a little green salad, and some grandma pickles.
Did you pickle them yourselves too?
Of course.
Of course, yeah. These chanterelles are gorgeous. Look at them. And from seeing them in the forest yesterday to on the plate today, like it's pretty special, like tracing the whole journey.
Yes.
Do you remember being in Vancouver and then getting Saskatchewan chanterelles?
Oh, totally.
Sask chanterelles.
All the time. It would blow my mind. And we'd get BC chanterelles.
Oh, no good.
Yeah, and
No
then
good.
we just blew my mind that every restaurant in Vancouver was getting these Saskatchewan chanterelles, and I would be so proud. I would say, yes, they're from where I'm from.
Yeah, yeah.
So how common is it to be a chef and a restaurateur? Like, it doesn't feel very common at all.
Like, it's just such a stupid amount of work. So when you have other people that understand it, you can kind of like look at them and be like, damn. And then they can be like, I know. And then you can kind of just go from there. None of our employees like want to hear it. None of our regular friends can understand.
Well, no, because if they think when you say you work 16 hours that you're being hyperbolic,
Yeah. It's not-
and you know that we're not.
Yep. Really makes me take for granted being an employee, though. Holy crap.
Oh, those were the
Yeah,
days.
but we didn't know they were the days. We were like, can't wait to own our own restaurant, but we should have been like, steady paycheck that I don't have to worry about. That's sweet.
It's a hard grind, and it's tough on everything around it. It's tough on your body. It's tough on relationships, friendships. It's something we've all kind of talked about before, where there's kind of that like pioneer, get her done elbow grease that happens here. And I'd like to think that we inherited a little bit of that, and the do-it-yourself vibe that we all have.
The fact that we've come together and we're in the same industry, we want to support each other. So I think it's a very Saskatchewan thing. Yeah.
I feel like you met us and we just looked like a bunch of crazy people in the forest. Like, you gotta find these mushrooms. Like, they're really good. But it's infectious, you know. You saw our passion for it and you immediately got it, I think. And to see it from forests to being in the back of the truck, to have us think about a thoughtful way to use them, to put them on the table, to share that love with you is such a special thing for us.
Well, cheers to work-life balance and delicious food. Cheers. Thank you for such an incredible meal. So honored to share it with you.
It was delicious.